Welcome back to 340 Caribbean Culture, Home Edition. Today we're going to keep it simple. We're making some Rasta pasta. Um, Rasta pasta is just a simple creamy pasta um, with vegetables. Um, it's actually with coconut. You make it with coconut milk if you want to, but most Rasta don't use certain products. So most of the time they'll leave out the butter and they'll go in with like the coconut milk. Okay, but I can't use the coconut milk because the young man is allergic to it. So let's get cooking. I'm gonna go ahead and heat up my pot. You can use a little saucepan or whatever, or a frying pan. But this is why I usually make my cream sauce and stuff in. Got a little water in here. You can let the water dry out on its own, but just to save a little time. I'm going in with some butter. You don't want to have the temperature too high because your butter will burn. When the butter burn, then you have to start over, okay? Because it's going to be bitter. I'm going in with what we consider be a half a stick of butter. And it all depends on how much sauce you're making. I have it on a medium. I'm gonna turn it up a little bit to start getting this butter melted, and then I'm gonna turn it right back down. Even though I turned it up, if you notice, it's not that high, okay? While that is going ahead and melt, I'm gonna go ahead and start chopping up some flavor, okay? Going in with some onions. It's up to you how big you want it, but I suggest you kind of leave it not too fine, but a fine chop or a medium fine chop. All right, the limited amount of vegetables that I'm putting in here is due to picky eaters, but you don't have to go this route. You can add as many vegetables as you want. You're gonna start out sauteing your vegetables, and then what you're gonna do is create a roux. A roux is basically you're adding some flour to the butter, and that'll be a thickening agent. The reason why I'm going this route, I'm using heavy cream, but the reason why I'm going this route, just in case you decide to use the cream and the coconut milk, which you actually can, it creates a better flavor. This way, it wouldn't be so so thin. Okay? And you wouldn't have to sit there and keep cooking it, trying cooking it down. I'm gonna turn this up a little bit. Start getting these cooked down a little bit. Just a few minutes. You can start going in with your peppers. Now, a lot of people, mostly traditional, I should say, they go in with red, yellow, green, but you have what you have. It doesn't make it taste no different. The green pepper is a little more bitter. The brighter colors, you get a little more flavor out of them than you would the green bell pepper. Okay. I usually have a lot of peppers, so I chop them up and I vacuum seal them. I go through so much, so I'm not going to turn around and try to vacuum seal that back again. I'm going to get this started, and then I'm going to worry about the water. I already have the water on here. I'm just taking my time with it. I hate to rush. So I'm doing it so that you can learn. And if I'm rushing, it's not going to turn out good for you. You go in with some salt. And pasta requires a decent amount of salt, okay? I'm going to just keep that going until I'm ready for it. It's going to be cooking for a while, so regardless of what, it's going to cook down. Right now, I'm going to start going in with a little bit of flour, going with a little bit at a time. This is going to act as the thickening agent. You want to continue to cook this until you get the floury taste up out of it. I'm going to turn this down so it doesn't burn. Like I said, it all depends on how much pasta you're about to be making. Continue to cook this down. and it's on a medium fire, I'm going to go ahead and turn it down a little more. Because regardless of the while, I'm going to have to crank it back up a little bit because the cream itself is cold. You just try to cook that flowery taste up out of it. You try to keep it moving. Just a few minutes. You go in with your heavy whipping cream. Now, if you're not going in with coconut water, you don't really have to. You really don't have to make the roux. But I'm doing this just in case that's what you're gonna do. Turn this back up a little bit. You're stirring it. You want all the lumps and bumps and everything out of it. You just stirring and stirring till you get all the lumps out of it. Turn it back down to medium. I knew it was smelling something. Let that continue to cook down. And just take your time and stir. That's all you gotta do. While this is continuing to cook, you're gonna start flavoring it up. Adding more flavors. Going in with some thyme. All you're doing is adding flavors. Keep stirring. Going with a little bit more time. Going in with some complete seasoning. Season as you go. Some onion powder. Continue to stir. Stir it in. Going in with some garlic powder. Going in with a little bit of obey. My wife likes a lot of obey in hers, so I might go in with some more. Now this is where it's up to you what you do, because I'm going in with a little bit of jerk. And jerk is actually one of the main ingredients. How much you add is up to you. I'm not going with any more than that. Otherwise, wifey won't be able to eat it. All I'm doing is building on flavors. I'm gonna go ahead and chop up some mushrooms. I'm gonna add some mushrooms in there. If you want to add your whole garden in there, it's up to you. Just take a look at that. Take a look at that. It's nice, creamy, it's rich. And the more time you take with it, the better it's gonna taste. I'm just going in with a quick little rough chop. Nothing too fancy. This is would be considered like a meat for vegans and the Rastafarians and stuff like that. Keep stirring. While that's continuing to cook, you clean as you go. Turn this down a little more because I don't want it to burn and I don't want it to break. Let it to continue slow cooking. I'm gonna give myself a little more heat with this water. You're just taking your time. She's getting there. Use a hint more obey. I think that's about it. And I'm gonna add just a tad bit of jerk. You can go in with string beans. You can go in with carrots. You can go in whatever, ever your heart desire. I have some Peruvian chicken in the oven cooking. That's good. Add a tad bit salt. Stir away. I'm gonna turn this down a little more. To add a little more flavor, I'm gonna go in with a little bit of cooking wine, some dry cooking wine. And let that continue to cook. Let that cook. Slowly but surely. And this is where you can customize it any way you want. I'm gonna go ahead. That's why I added such a little bit of salt. If you notice, I didn't add a whole bunch of salt content. The jerk has in salt. The obey has in salt. And I'm about to add a little bit of Parmesan cheese. This is optional. We're not making Alfredo. Let that cook. All you're doing is continue to build on flavors. That's all you're doing. Building flavors, low and slow. Low and slow. Going with a little bit of oil. And that's to keep the pasta from sticking. And I'm gonna go in with some penny. I'll make sure I have enough salt in the water. That's perfect. And then I'm going with a penny pasta. Give it a stir so it don't stick to the bottom. You're gonna let everything continue to cook. Keep stirring. It's not like a constantly stirring, but you want to make sure you stir it up enough so that it does not burn. I'm gonna take this up a little bit so you can get a quicker, rapid boil. While that's on a rapid boil, then I'll go in and start messing with it a little more. But for right now, let it come to temperature and give it a little stir. And this is almost finished. It's almost finished. You just gotta take your time and just make sure it doesn't stick. All right, well, let's continue to cook. Going with some more garlic. I didn't put any garlic in at first, but there is garlic powder. I'm very cautious, stuff like this here that, you add in the roux and all of that. You don't want to burn your garlic. It's too much work that goes into it to destroy it. Even though it's a quick, easy, and simple recipe, you're cooking it slow, so it takes time. Take that off before it boils over. And we are almost done. Let it cook down a little more. Basically done. But I'm gonna let it cook down a little more. I'm gonna go ahead and take this off because it's cooked. The flavors should be there. Look at that. Look at that. When you draw a line in it and the line stays, it's done. It stays separated, Take that off of the eye and just let the pasta continue to cook. We'll be back when we're about to drain it. When I'm about to start getting ready to take this pasta off of the stove. It's been cooking for about 12 minutes. Al dente will be anywhere about 10 minutes. So I'm gonna shut it down. I'll drain all this water out. Now, if you're not going to put it together right now, I suggest that you go ahead and add some olive oil to it when you finish draining the water out, and that will keep the pasta from sticking together. Whew, clear up your sinuses. I like to use my penne pasta. I use penne pasta for my baked macaroni and cheese and everything, So I use, all kind of different noodles, ziti noodles and some more. What I'm gonna do, I'm gonna add all the sauce in it. Even though there's a lot, what's gonna happen is the pasta is gonna suck it all up. So what the pasta don't suck up will be the additional. My wife will be able to, you'll be able to reheat it if there's some left. She likes her pasta and stuff kind of a little soupy. You go ahead and you just mix it all in. You can pair this you can eat this just so, or you can pair this with any kind of meat. Rasta would probably use some fish. They don't do too much shrimps, and they don't. Well, most wouldn't do shrimp and stuff like that. But with all the mushrooms and stuff in here, it acts like a meat. Even towards the end of the cooking, if you wanted to go in with some more bell peppers or some more onions so that they'll have a little crunch to it, it's up to you. I like my stuff cooked. You can go in with a little bit of green for garnish, some more of the scallions, and it'll actually add more flavor. So what I'm gonna do, I'm just let this sit here, and it's gonna continue to suck up all the sauce, and everything is gonna marry together, and the noodles are gonna get extra creamy and more delicious. So I'm gonna just let this sit here, and then I have some Peruvian chicken. I did some half chickens, or one half chicken, one whole chicken. I cut it in half, and traditionally it's done on the grill, but I put it in the oven. When I come back and plate that up, then you'll see the meal. Okay, stick and stay. You're back again. Got this bird out of the oven, and she's beautiful. She's beautiful. I'm about to cut her up and make a plate. That's what she looks like. Even though she's been sitting for a little bit, and making my mouth water. She's still nice and creamy. This chicken would be even better if I had stuck it on the grill. Michael, you ready to eat?
Yep.
Come grab your fork.
Ooh. This is interesting. Mm.
Guys, take it into consideration. Even if I put shoelace in it and put sauce on the shoelace, he gonna eat it. So,
Just for that, no compliments.
okay.
I'm kidding. It's good.
Thank you for sticking and staying with us here at 340. Um, Appreciate you guys for continuing to come back. The recipes, I'm trying my best to have some short recipes that you can cook in 30 minutes, 40 minutes, an hour, and probably even less. Okay. Like I said before, I'm going to get into all kind of different things that take a little longer, a little in depth. With the pasta itself, you can go ahead and add coconut milk in it. If you don't have anybody that's allergic to it, you can go ahead, you can add green beans, you can add carrots, you can add any kind of vegetable that's easy to cook. I suggest with the carrots, you can use the canned carrots, but if you julienne them thin enough, you can throw them in the sauce and it's going to cook down and it's going to get soft. Okay? It's not about working hard, it's about working smart, getting stuff done, and feed your family. Okay? Until next time, make sure you share the channel, like the channel, leave a comment below, tell a friend to tell a friend, and see you next time. Until next time,